Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Indie Mayhem. It is going to be a fun night. We've got a couple of the guests here, and Ron is here. But before we get started, if you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to send a star to let our hosts and producers know how much you appreciate what they do here at Go Indie Now. Every time you contribute, you get entered into our season prize package drawing with gift cards, swag, and more. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Well, let me bring everybody in. Hey, guys.
Hey.
So let's go around, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. We're going to start at the bottom with Mel, though.
Hi, I'm Mel Todd. I have tons of books out, and if you really love me, I have a book that launched today, and today is Friday, March 24th. I would love for you to go buy and read. Other than that, I write sci-fi, fantasy, and everything in between.
Sweet, and congratulations on the book release.
Hi, I'm Claudia Blood. I write science fiction and fantasy and suspense, mystery suspense stuff, whatever. Yeah, and I've got a book coming out on the 15th, but honestly, I can't remember which book it is because there's a lot going on.
Sweet.
Great problem to have.
Yes.
My name's Ron Elnar. I write fantasy like the Cathaldi Chronicles, and I write humorous science fiction like You Get What You Steal. I also write legitimate, serious self-help books like You're as Stupid as You Are Fat, How to Talk to Women, full of useful advice you should totally follow. Anyway, all my books are on Amazon. I also host several shows here on the Go Indie Now channel. Back to you, Maddie.
Yes. And as I said, guys, I'm Madilynn Dale. I am host of this show, an occasional host of This Week in Indies, the host of Character Driven. I'm like Rod, I'm kind of like all over the place on Go Indie Now. I write fantasy, romance, paranormal, adventure, like all mixed together. A little bit of reverse harem, some steamy stuff. So, yeah. And I'm excited to have you all here tonight. And I'm not gonna lie, majorly excited that Ron's here tonight for the roasting, guys. Yes.
That's not fair. It should be totally Michael because he couldn't make it.
I know, and I pulled some really good clips up for Michael, and we're just gonna have to roast him. He's just gonna have to miss it, so he can't defend himself.
I'm not sure I can defend myself.
I mean, maybe not. We've got some people hanging out with us. Exercise Your Rights says, I have my popcorn and soda ready. Bring it on. And Anita's hanging out with us as well.
Hi, Anita.
Hi. All right, guys. Well, let's bring up the first clip and dive right in.
Oh my God, I'm pretty sure I'm about to be blindsided by this entire thing, so don't hold it against me.
So with that,
and she won. I'm just saying.
Yes, I thought that was hilarious that you started with that. It almost seemed like a strategy you used.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, I had never been on one before. Nobody warned me exactly what was going to happen, and even worse, they didn't warn me that you guys were going to record it and then hold it against me. I totally feel like this has been an ambush of the utmost levels.
I'm with you. Yes.
I feel like you guys both knew me, and you should have assumed that all this happened. From now on, you will.
From now on, yes. Yeah.
Yes, because I've got some great things from the show that I pulled. So even I've got some stuff on Ron for just for you guys. So, but it's always fun to pick on Ron. So.
I don't know.
But with that, what did you guys kind of expect at the start?
I expected another hilarious performance from me.
Of course.
I honestly thought we were going to talk about writing and books and maybe fantasy or sci-fi or whatnot. I mean, that tends to be how most of them go. That's not. My first warning was when Ron gave us a pre-formed list of questions to respond to. I was like, oh dear, this.
I freaked. I'm like pinging my friends, like, what the hell am I supposed to say to this? Oh my god!
That's a great point, though.
Do that. So that's a thing we added this season.
Right. Last season we recorded in advance, and then we had to edit out all the bad questions. About half of them, where people, would just be like, "Whoa, I don't know," and I'd be like, "You have to answer something," and it was bad. But
be smart.
The reason that Indie Mayhem
for appearing, and especially when Ron is hosting.
I mean, yeah.
But the whole idea of Indie Mayhem came about because I'm like, I want to do a show, but I don't want it to be just like all the other shows. I want it to introduce another side of authors and be fun.
100%.
So that was how it came about.
And I did. I was like, oh my god, what did I get myself into? Why did I say yes? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Right. Like that was
it's been a lot of fun, right?
It was a lot of fun, yes.
It was
once the panic subsided.
A very fun episode.
See,
and I think a lot of that
very first one. So just imagine all the chaos that was. It's not that we had nothing figured out then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we really didn't. We really didn't. But I also think a lot of the credit for how fun that episode goes to Michael. He's just a very fun.
True.
He's adorable.
Speaking of Michael, I've got a fun clip. I wish she was here.
Who are you going to award points to, Michael?
And you can do more than one. There's plenty of points to give away.
I feel like
dust.
I do feel like they all get some points for that. I do feel like they all should all get points for that.
Go ahead then. But
Let's
just
do
so
that.
you know, when you give points to everybody, it's like giving points to nobody.
I understand. Hey, I'm guest host, man. You're lucky I'm
math,
here.
That's why he gives you that.
Yeah.
Except for the goodness we feel in our hearts.
Him and his point system.
I don't care about the goodness you feel. I'm just saying. That goes against my brand.
I did feel he was very generous with the points, though. It was kind of crazy.
I mean,
no. I was just awesome.
I was going to say Mel and Rob were amazing. So,
I
got some pity
the
points.
enthusiasm was amazing on the show. And
I thought he was.
Ron got points. In the entire history of this show so far, Ron has never got points.
I feel like it's going to happen a lot more now. Now that I know it's possible. But he was far too generous with the points for all of you guys. It was embarrassing. He's too nice.
So not embarrassing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And Anita says we went all the points.
Yes.
And it would be really cool because you guys mentioned a lot, like having the crowd have points.
Mm-hmm.
That is totally something we have to figure out.
Rob, you made it!
Hello.
Hey.
I'm here for 10 minutes while I wait for the timer to go off.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Well, tell us what you're cooking.
Pizza.
I'm in.
Well,
that is
when you have 5 kids, as I've mentioned multiple times before, they love their pizza movie night on Fridays.
Aww.
So, but I can never have just regular pizza. We've got to doctor it up and make it nice, and except for the kids because they, they're kids, so they eat cheese and pepperoni.
I mean,
yes,
I can't say any different. That was me for a long time till adulthood. Now I'm put all the veggies on mine, and my husband's like, no, just give me cheese.
But you're what, 20? So
I wish. Oh, that's so. I'm taking that as a compliment. I'm sorry, Ron.
No, it is. A compliment. It's not. It's not a.
This year, so.
Ron doesn't give compliments. His are just insults.
They're
no, that's not true.
Very subtle.
3 per year.
3 per
Rob,
year.
since you
For your
joined
wife
late,
only.
tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what you write.
So I'm Rob Billiou. I write. Here, I'll show you one of my series. Actually, I've got multiple ones here. I write this, The Accidental Minecraft Family, and this, video game agents, and this Hatchamob. So I write middle grade books for kids. Accidental Minecraft Family is about a family that wakes up in Minecraft and the parents don't know how to do anything, so the kids get to be in charge, which is always fun. Hatchamob is like a Pokemon Minecraft mashup. I know you're probably sensing a Minecraft theme here, which is correct. And then there's Video Game Agent, which is like Men in Black, but with kids instead of men, and video games instead of aliens.
And
Nice.
So, yeah.
I like
And then
it.
I write some big person stuff too, like my Primeverse series. And I have another book that is about 175,000 words in that we're just waiting to get published.
Ooh, sweet. I like the Pokemon concept.
That one's very
definitely,
popular.
Like my generation. So and we actually let my son pick his first starter Pokemon. Like we got the stuffed animals, and he chose
nice.
the fire starter. He chose Charmander, and
That's
yes.
awesome. My son is 11 now, and he's like in prime play the Pokemon games age. So he's diving in.
All right, guys, I've got one for us to pick at Ron for. We're gonna bring it in.
I was hosting an episode of This Week in Indies, and I told people that Ron Lodelar is my pseudonym, and my real name is Knife Sexy Time.
Oh yeah.
Oh crap!
This comes from the man who has an OnlyFans page for his goats. So,
Goats.
what did you guys think of that? What did you threw that in
I should
there?
change my name to that just to teach my wife a lesson.
And I thought your nickname used to be Dirk instead. Like
No, my nickname in high school was Knife. I went to a school. It doesn't matter. Well, it's a long story, but yes, my nickname was Knife. And the great thing is telling people that now, like, you know how they'll ask on like your dentist form, you fill it out and they're like, is there something else you like to be called? And I'll be sure, Knife. And then they never do it. And I'm like, why do you have the question on the sheet if you're not going to call me that? And they're like, so you want us to call you Knife? And I'm like, no, but I want you to read it and think that's funny. And you didn't even bother to do that. You know, I want you to want to call me Knife, I guess, is where.
Yeah.
Well, and then whenever you get those little name tags for when you're doing your consulting that say Knife on it, HR gives you a call right away.
Yeah.
They do.
I did do some Uber driving, and I picked up these two couples in the middle of the night, you know, like after the bars close. It's like 2:30, and they asked to stop at a gas station or a convenience store to get alcohol. So we pull in, and the guys go in to buy something, and it's just the women, and they're like, so what's your name? And you know, and I go, it's Knife. It's dark. Or I said, my name's Ron, but I like to be called Knife. And it's just dead silence. And I realize they don't know me. They can't see my frail and weak body in the dark from the back seat. So
Let
they
alone
think
your
I'm-
sarcasm-filled face.
They might think I am actually threatening in some way. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. Kind of ruined it. I felt bad. They actually were
What
scared
kind
I
of
was
tip
going
did
to
you get
murder
on
them.
that, right? Like, did you get the little...
Well, they were really drunk, and they ended up inviting
Oh.
me to party with them. So they were fine by the time the tip came. I got
Yeah, there's this guy named Knife. He's gonna join us. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
bring somebody for him to kill. You know, it was a bring somebody for him to kill party.
Bring your own body.
That can be fun.
So
Not really, but
Not really. Yeah, no. I'll
Okay,
write
guys.
about that, but I don't want to
I have all three of you guys here, and Rob's on borrowed time for feature time.
What is a two-word example of alliteration that describes your writing style?
Mel.
Wishful wording.
Ooh, that's good.
All right, Rob.
Tantrum typing.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's
Claudia.
Panicky pantser.
Ooh.
Oh.
Those are all good. What are you going to do, Michael?
I gave them all a point. By the way, the correct answer was wascally wabbit.
Wow.
Anybody give that? I'm gonna give him 10 points just for that.
Rascally Wabbit.
That was like one of the most creative questions I think I've seen on this show in a while. So
Thank
so
you.
Ron did not come up with that one.
No, I wrote that question.
Okay.
I wrote all the
All right.
questions.
it was impressive because I
It was
mean, you guys all had some really good like suggestions for that too. So
we haven't really talked about having a guest host yet, but
we're getting there.
well, all right, then I'll wait for that.
No,
The
go
nice
for it.
thing about
Oh.
questions like that is getting, since we're all writers,
Yeah.
getting to, use some alliteration. I can't wait for the next one of, if you had to have an onomatopoeia that described your writing style.
Oh,
Cool.
that's a good one.
Ooh, that is a good
Good
one.
one.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
Yeah.
Um,
For those of you watching.
No, remember that. Yeah.
so when normal co-host Robin went on vacation for a month, I didn't want to not have two shows because that would have meant we would go longer into garden time doing the shows. So I thought, we talked about having guest hosts, and I didn't feel right. I mean, they can write questions if they want, but if they don't want to, I'll write them all. So
You should let them toss a few in there just to see.
no, I offered that. You can write as like Charity Ayers is going to be the guest host next week. And I'm like, you guys can write as much as you want, but don't feel like you have to. I will do all the work because I'm a hero.
So I need to
See, and I'm
myself
sitting here
different.
thinking, I'm sitting here thinking, so number one question, if you have to dispose of Ron's body, what's your best method of doing it?
How should it be done? Yeah. I hope the right answer is
Obviously.
composting. Yeah, I mean, it
Yes.
seems
Yes.
right.
All right, guys. Here's the one of the big kickers that really stood out on the show.
Uh-oh.
Get ready, Mel.
Do you remember the movie Titanic? If so, please make the sound of the Titanic hitting the iceberg.
Who did you call on, Michael?
Mel just started doing it. I was like, I'm not interrupting that.
This is getting insane.
That was awesome.
Is anybody else?
That was good.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
You could tell she was very excited for an opportunity to make a weird noise.
Those questions are surprisingly popular.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to catch my breath. Like, even though I watched that clip so many times, getting ready to plug it in, I still laugh my head off every time. It was perfect.
And that was not one of the ones he gave us a heads up on. I'm just thinking ice and metal. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, it
All
was
right.
perfect. So,
Oh, let's go into the timer.
Yep, my timer's off. I gotta get going.
bye,
All right.
Rob. Enjoy your
Thanks,
time.
guys.
Rob,
Have
being
fun.
on.
I wonder how many kids he will have next time we see him.
6 and
7.
7.
Who knows?
8.
And Anita wants to
knows?
know if next week's show will be filled with Velveeta. So
Ugh, it should be. I wish I had a Velveeta T-shirt. I have a Spam T-shirt.
you should wear the spam T-shirt.
I should, but it's packed away. Sadly.
Oh, yeah.
But my mom used to work at the local fair after she retired, the county fair, and they Spam sponsored it one year, and they had a Spam game show. And even though I wasn't on the Spam game show, since my mom was there, she stole one of the shirts and gave them to me. And
Nice.
I've loved it ever since because she knew I was a big Spam fan. But now I need a Velveeta shirt just to wear constantly around charity.
Yeah.
I should there's all those cheese of the month clubs, and I should pretend I signed her up for one and then just send her a block of Velveeta every month.
Yeah.
Different flavored.
She was
Different
Mexican,
shapes,
Mexican,
like the
you know?
different, the cheese
Mexican
packets,
and the light, Velveeta
Yeah,
light,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
Spicy, caliente. Anyway, what would be even better is if I just adjusted the boxes. Ranch flavored Velveeta, whatever. But
So I'd like to point out that we've already raised the question of how to dispose of Ron's body. I'm pretty sure the next question is going to be, if you are Ron's co-host, how are you going to kill him?
Oh, that would be a great question.
she does have a real hatred of Velveeta.
So it's
let's-
death by
We're
Velveeta.
gonna switch gears and have a non-hate filled thing because I thought this was really fun.
Is your most embarrassing hobby?
Rob.
Role-playing games.
Oh yes. Sorry.
That's a good one.
Why is that embarrassing?
I know.
I
I
think
was
Claudia
saying
just
that.
gave you
It's
like
fine.
13 points.
I
or
did. You
something.
had like 100 points. D&D all the way.
There we go. I win.
I don't know that it's embarrassing in this group, but I
Right.
think
Yes,
in
probably
society
not.
as a whole.
But
That is
I
true.
loved your excitement because, like, yes, RPG games all the way. For
All
sure.
the way. All
Yes.
the way.
They make for some fun, like, inspiration on stories too.
They really
And
do.
Joe must have jumped in on the spam Velveeta conversation. Joe, we were talking about things for next week, you know, and then spam, the breakfast of the gods. Well, some god, probably ancient Hawaiian or Filipino, are Okinawan. I don't know if I said that right. Oh wait, hold on. Ron says we're making Hawaiian spam fried rice tomorrow.
It's true. We
Ooh.
are. It's
Exactly,
amazing.
definitely an island type. But yeah, like the whole role playing game thing, and then the whole I cut it out, but like
The
when
LARPing.
you said your
Yeah. How cool is that?
collection, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I would cry. So
This is the group for the D&D and the role playing. So
absolutely,
that's awesome.
but there are so many authors that get inspiration from D&D. Like it's impressive. So. But here is another fun one, which was I pulled this one specifically to kind of pick Michael a little bit, so we can definitely like talk
Okay.
about him.
What is the worst thing one of your neighbors does?
Rob.
yells at my cat.
Where do you live? Because I feel like we might be neighbors.
Are you yelling at cats?
They are constantly, there's like hundreds of them
They're
running around
yowling.
my household. I'm like, come on.
The yowling.
Those poor cats.
Those poor cats.
So
Yeah.
D&D. I have a
Yes.
20-sided dice, and the one, instead of a one, it says fuck.
Yes. I got my
Whoa.
husband that for Christmas.
And then I have my own little kitty cat dice holder.
Oh, I love the kitty cat.
Ron, Anita's got it out for you. She says, if you watch another Go Indie Now show, you will see chat asking if I buried Ron in his garden.
Yes.
So, spam fried rice, another way for Ron to use his number one food, eggs.
Eggs. There
That
you
is
go.
true. Oh my God. We have so many eggs right now.
That's why
You could egg houses.
The chickens in there. Did y'all see that in the intro? Ron's face.
I
on
did.
it.
I
Yes,
loved
on the chicken. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
People give us a lot of egg cartons, right? Because we give out eggs for free we gave 40 some dozen away last year. And then everybody so now we have hundreds of egg cartons. And my wife's like, we need to get these down into the basement. So we move them down to the basement, but the chickens are laying so much. Every day I have to go to the basement and get another egg carton. And it's not like I don't need my steps, but it's annoying.
You were frozen for a second. I didn't know if you were going to.
You're wondering where it's going.
I was just thinking. I wasn't frozen. I was like pondering how mad I am at my wife, I guess, and how much I want to say publicly about it. You know.
Yes. All right. Here's another fun clip.
Can we
Yeah,
not
yeah,
do it
yeah.
in deer hunting week, and opening week and deer hunting? Can we not do it that week?
Yeah,
Because there's
not
no
that week.
childcare.
Well, I've never heard
Random
that
thing to
complaint
say.
there.
I'm all for Spokane because then I don't have to travel.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, we'd have at least 3 people there.
So, for context for the viewers, because I know we talked about this before the show, they were talking about having a con for Go Indie Now, but Claudia brought up that it would be best to not do during deer
Right,
season.
the first week in November. Don't
Yes.
do it.
We've established, like, all of us women know how to hunt.
Know
and,
how to
like,
hunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and let's see what we've got. We were raising chickens in the U.S. We know all about too many eggs and everyone bringing egg cartons. But yeah. definitely there's Oklahoma lets out for the whole week of deer, like first week of deer season, because people are not in school. They're out in the woods. So yep.
That's a big deal.
Spam with a gin-based cocktail. Das fancies food pairings. Ooh, no.
Very fancy.
We'd totally do that. We grow a lot of fruit, and then we make a simple syrup out of each type of fruit, and then basically a gin and tonic with a simple syrup added, a fresh fruit simple syrup.
With spam.
Freaking amazing.
See, I'm thinking Go Indie Now needs to have a gin cocktail contest.
Oh,
You
that's
have
a good
people
idea.
submit their best cocktails based off of gin.
And
Interesting.
Ron and
That's
Joe
a good
could
idea.
be
Use eggs and spam.
well, I mean,
Well, we should definitely have a recipe contest. Yeah.
Yeah.
With limited ingredients.
Actually, there's a surprising number of cocktails that have egg whites in them.
Really?
Especially
True.
stuff from the 20s had a lot of egg whites in them. And I'm always like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that much work.
Yeah, me either.
good. Then you can save me a lot of money and cater the event then. With the eggs.
Well, if we do have a Go Indie Now convention in Spokane, then I will. I would definitely be making a lot of food for people to eat that have been bad mouthing the recipes I'm describing over the years
No.
involving spam and Velveeta. So
Okay, maybe I was gonna say that wouldn't be a bad thing, but
they're amazing. They're not healthy. Nothing I make is really healthy, but
I mean, you're in a conference. Who cares?
yeah. But if we do the gin contest, I vote Ron
First.
and Joe be the testers, because
that could be a part of the convention. We could have a much more interesting convention than other people.
For me. Oh.
And if we remembered it, it'd be great.
And
About 24
there
years. Oh.
there is no convention, writing convention in Spokane.
Yet.
Or, I mean, there's a couple of tiny cons, but I think it would be a huge break-even project. Because I don't know that we would make money, but we could break even on the project.
All for the gin contest, except nobody knows how to make a proper gin and tonic.
I'm sure there's one
Guilty,
person
that's
who
all there
knows.
is.
Probably. I'll bring my husband. He knows how to make drinks.
Yeah, mine does too.
I just say, make me something yummy, and he does.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. So
That's when I say that to my wife. She's like, "Make it yourself."
yeah. I get that on occasion. Here's a fun one. I really liked the energy you guys put into this. And then I was also slightly terrified by the animal male suggestion. So
Question.
All right.
What is the best animal that hasn't yet gone extinct and why? Claudia.
The platypus. Holy cats, come on. It's got poisonous spurs. It lays eggs. It has a little milk pouch. It's got a duck bill. It swims around. It's like one of the first marsupial things. It's crazy amazing.
I almost feel like she knew that question was going to be on here.
No,
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Orcas. Orcas are absolutely fascinating. They're one of the only animals we've ever seen that actually kill for fun, which puts them close to humans. They work in family groups, and they are way smarter than what most people want to think.
it's so true about the orcas, though. Like, it's crazy scary how
Crazy.
vicious they can be.
Yeah.
And platypus is actually really cool, too. So
I
So
didn't
we
know
know-
they have a thing that you can actually go and pet them in their environment. They only do it with the females in Australia. I just
Oh.
found out about it. I totally want to go do it.
That's
So should we pitch to Joe
Australia?
the platypus being, like the
Oh, the
mascot?
Go Indie mascot? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
swim wolves. I mean, that would be pretty cool. My friends and I in college, like our little group of people in PTA school, which physical therapy assistant school, we decided to name ourselves aardvarks just for the heck of it. It'd be silly, goofy. So
Nice.
I would,
I would
pet
pet an
orca.
orca.
Man, I don't know if I would get close to an orca. I've heard those horror stories from SeaWorld and stuff. No.
You're a
Although it'd be
snack.
kind of cool, but yeah.
I would push one of my brothers into the orca.
Okay, do we add that to the list of how to get Ron is to get him eaten by orcas?
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys.
Plausible deniability.
Here is
Yeah.
the epic question, the tie-breaking question, because
God.
like with this episode that you guys are on, that was like a historical episode. We had the first guest host, we had the first tiebreaker, and the first time anybody has ever awarded Ron points. 3
What's a
historical moments for Indie Mayhem. So let's get ready for some crazy noises, guys. Here it comes. Oh gosh, like it's
Do I have to watch this? I'm looking away.
Absolutely.
What
What
sound does a giraffe
make?
Mel.
Mel.
All right. Anybody else? We gonna compete with that, or are you guys just giving Mel the victory?
Wait, let's just make random. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Rob.
Okay, let me see if I can do this. Did you hear that?
We could.
Yes.
We
It's
could.
the munching sound.
Lottie?
My wife would kill me if she heard that because she cannot stand the sound of people chewing.
Chewing.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I don't
All
have
right,
it, so we're going with it.
All right, Michael, you're the guest host, so you get the honor of picking who wins. All right.
Go
I just have to
Mel!
say,
Yeah.
when it happened live, I was just stunned. But it's hilarious now. I've got some distance from it, so it's very funny.
Man, that was like, it's just like the noises in the show. And the fact that Ron, you and Michael basically asked the question at the same time was very impressive for on the spot, like kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of going through the comments as we're sitting here because there's a lot
like
of comments.
Pandas.
So,
Pandas, koalas, pandas, yeah.
yeah.
I feel like Michael and I have to do a new show together.
What would it be?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to him about it.
I know, it was the effort part. Yes.
Yes.
Not so much like, relevance
Results.
or hilariousness of
Yeah.
what I said. It was the effort. Yes. Enthusiasm. I think of enthusiasm.
But it was a good question for the tiebreaker. I will give
I'm
that.
so glad you won, Mel. Can I just tell you, I am so glad you won.
We get that a lot. But I will say it was also historic for having somebody bounce on the show too, with Claudia.
I get a little enthusiastic. My energy has come down with age, so it's gotten better.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you should have seen me a couple years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
No lie.
You must have been a very hard to follow teenager.
Yep.
Okay, guys. So now we're to the one part of the show that I make sure we talk about every time, especially from last season. Like it's crazy that where all of this comes, like all the ideas come from. But you guys really like hit this topic on top, like the nail on the head kind of thing. So.
Ooh-wee! Okay, Boomer.
Haters gonna hate.
All right, so we're gonna have a recap of all the hats, and I tried my best to get all of them, but it was kind of like, yeah. So here's the recap.
This hat's kind of staying on. I can wear this one for a while.
Did Mel change her? Who are you now?
Oh, that's like the
That's very eloquent. I almost want to give you a point.
It's very
for that.
milady.
Go ahead, Michael. You're in charge of the points. You can do whatever you want.
Right?
Points are
Right,
good.
I'm throwing her a point for the sharp hat.
Like one thing Robin would do is give a point for who had the best introduction. So who introduced themselves best?
I didn't realize I had
It was
that kind
too
of
long
power.
ago.
This pen
Yeah.
is amazing.
It was too
All right,
long.
are we on?
This hat works even though it doesn't fit because it has a
Nice
60.
Oculus.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Are you wearing?
Ooh, you got the good headset too.
Oh yes.
Is she
The bad
wearing
headsets are not worth
is that
it.
like a?
It's
what
a
is that
koozie.
thing? That's
Only
what
thing
I
could
thought.
find. Yep, it's the only thing I could find. It's on my head. It's a hat. I'm in.
Yeah, I would consider giving her a point just for dedication. You know, just
That
for,
really
I mean,
is.
The strap that comes with that thing is terrible.
that is some
It
real
was on my
commitment.
desk. Yeah.
Those were dedicated hat choices, guys. Like I loved it because I love that even more people are bringing fun hats into the show as guests. So, and I do agree, like with this comment that DB put up, animal noises for the win. It's always fun to have the animal noises. Like that's always been my favorite question on Indie Mayhem. So. But like the hats, especially like with the pot holder hat, like that's totally epic and totally gonna have to like have somebody try to like one up that. Like there's the challenge for everybody on the future shows.
Bring
Get
many hats.
creative with the hats, and I
Yes.
still miss some of them, like the front. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yes. I'd forget
God.
and I'd go flying.
Hang some Beat Saber on. Yes, Beat Saber is awesome. Who doesn't love making weird noises?
Seriously.
Well, I find the older I get, the less I can stop from making.
Those are the involuntary ones.
Yes, exactly. Ron, you probably have a lot of those. Like, oh.
Well, like trying to stand up if I'm squatting down working on something. Some people will be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm just standing up."
Oh god.
Making sure there's room.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, we've gone a little bit over, but that's okay because we've had some great topics. We've got some great clips. And like, I want to know what your final thoughts are on Indie Mayhem.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you for sending some of those questions in advance so it wasn't all panicky kind of moments. So yeah.
Well, sure.
It was entertaining. I wish I had realized how big of a thing the hats were, and I would have like had a stack of them and been changing them every time.
Exactly.
Been like, oh look, one of my friends who's here giving me a bad time. His daughter knitted me Jane caps, from Firefly. So I would have been like pulling out all the Jane caps.
Oh, that'd have been
that would
cool.
have been awesome. Well, you have another episode, so.
Yeah, Mel, you're going to be coming back.
You get to come back.
So.
Maybe two.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have a stack of hats off screen, and every time you pan back to me, I'll have a different hat on.
Ooh, helmets. That's a genius.
Yeah,
we have had somebody wore like a Thor helmet.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mel, you're going to have some strategies going forward. Like.
Get a win with style points.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to address
have some ideas.
Claudia's comment. After the first season, we realized that a lot of the questions we were asking were more testing people's improv skills and not their writing skills. So that was the idea of giving some of the questions in advance, the ones where it would be worthwhile to sit down and think about it, like you do with your writing, hopefully.
And it wasn't too far in advance, for the record, for everybody out there. It really was not.
The plan is always a week in advance. The reality is like a couple hours in advance.
Yeah.
But besides Rob, I assume that you two, having read your work, and Rob's as well, and even Madelynn's, I read everybody's work here. I assume you three all think about your writing. If Rob were here, we would. That's not true. But since it's only you guys, I figured the best part though is no matter when I send the questions out, most people don't ever look at them.
That's true.
So they still show up for the show. They show for the show and they have no idea.
See, that's just even more impressive, Mel. You definitely deserve to win.
No. I literally thought he wanted me to respond. So I had typed up all of my responses in Messenger and I was waiting for him to say, okay, send them to me.
Nice.
You just made my day.
I love it.
I feel so good right now.
He likes torturing people, I think.
I do. I'm not a big people fan.
Really?
Yes, but
not
he's
you guys.
A genius multiple times. So.
Well, that is true. But you guys are all great. But the people who aren't around me right now, I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I'm like a behind the back, not
Look at
fan
you
of
being
people.
nice tonight, Ron. I love
Yeah.
it.
I know. He's just afraid of the compost heap that you guys are building for him.
I've got like 9 ready and waiting. You know, we do a lot of composting here.
There was one episode he put the picture up, and I was like,
That
"Oh,
is true.
there's all
That is
Ron's
That was
compost
just
piles."
that wasn't even all of them. That was some of them.
Mhm.
They're spread out so far around the property because the chickens are over here, you know, and the goats are over there, and
I probably shouldn't share all the pictures of my compost piles. You might start accusing me of something nefarious.
Are they body shaped?
oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
So-
Ron, you just aren't cooking your people right, Ron.
Yeah, when we moved in our backyard, we had these very narrow raised beds that my wife's stepfather had made for us, and when we took them out, it looked like there were burial plots in the backyard, and we're like, is this going to make it more or less likely to sell? And the
Now,
realtors
did you put
like,
a
"Depends
plastic
on the
skull
people."
in there that was like just peeping
Oh.
out? Like just like right?
I just
right? Your neighbor
wish-
to mess with you totally could have done that.
I wish that the realtors who brought people for showings had to tell you what they said. Didn't want it because of the graveyard, you know, or loved the graveyard,
look,
couldn't
yeah,
afford
it's
it, you
ready
know, or
for
whatever.
me.
Yeah, I mean, best backyard graveyard we've seen yet. You know, I don't know. I want to know.
He's
what
already
people thought.
dug the body disposal plots for me. Sold.
Yeah.
Sold. And then, yeah.
There
We
you
would have
go.
bought it,
Because
but
most
you
wanted.
didn't have enough of them for our entire family. You know,
Swamp,
we were too
Swamp.
short.
things, less
Yeah.
digging,
That's true. That's
and
true.
increased chance of the alligators and you
Yeah.
know getting
Better decomposition with the,
Yeah.
you know.
Yup. Give me those gators.
No.
Actually read a book not too long ago about a serial killer that was feeding her like the people she was targeting to gators. So yes,
Yum.
it was good. It was a good book.
Look,
all right,
never
guys.
ask a writer how to dispose of bodies. We know
For
way too
real.
much.
I went to
For
MurderCon one
real.
year. That was fun. The forensics one. That was awesome.
Yes. All right, guys. We are at the end of the show, and I want to say thank you, everybody, for watching and hanging out with us. Don't forget to check out all of our work, our books. Follow us on social media. Hit the like and subscribe button so you can get updates. Mel's going to be coming back later in the season since she was our winner. And we also have more going on with Go Indie Now. It's March of the Writers this month. JD Estrada has some cool stuff up for March of the Writers, and we're going to be talking about next week's writing prompts. So make sure you guys join us on Sunday for This Week in Indies. And don't miss next week. We have another episode of Indie Mayhem. Woo, woo. We'll be back next week for talking Indie Mayhem as well. But
Excellent.
yeah. All right, guys. Remember to hit that like button. I'm going to say it again. And don't forget that it is always time to go indie now. Have a good
Amen.
night, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.